Okay, so in this video we're going to make some small improvements to our game. So we hit play and we play the game. You can see that the game score starts from the very beginning. We're here, you can see it over here. So what I want to do is deactivate the score so it doesn't appear before we start the game, and when we actually tap on the screen, then it appears. So to do this, it's fairly simple. We're going to select our score and we're going to uncheck this box to deactivate it. So if we hit play now, we can see that there's no score, but if we tap the screen, we can see that there's no score too. So how do we fix that? Okay, so let's go to our game manager. In our game manager, we already have the reference to the score object. So the only thing that we need to do is that inside the game has started method. So when the game has started, we have to say that score dot set active true. So if we save now and we go back to the Unity editor and we press play, we can see that the score is not here and now it's here. All right, so that's one thing that we needed to do. Now the next thing that we need to do is that I want some images at the start of the game. So to create those images, select the canvas, right click and select UI and select image. We'll call this image the get ready image. So get ready img for image. So now we're going to select the source image of this image. It's going to be the get ready, this get ready sprite. Set native size of the sprite and now just resize it. So press T, shift and drag, make it big and pretty. All right, maybe this is too big, so we can actually press T and make it a little bit smaller. All right, center it. All right, and now let me select this. Okay, let's put it over here. That's fine. And now select the get ready image, right click and select UI and select image. We're gonna create another image, and this image, call it tap to start. Okay, these images are just to make the game look better. That's the only functionality that they have. So for this image, we're gonna select the source image, and the source image is going to be this image over here, the tap to start image. All right, so you can set it to native size if you want, then select T, drag, place it wherever you want. We can place it here. Maybe it's too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller, like this. All right, okay, so more or less over here. All right, so tap to start is a child of the get ready image. Okay, so we want it that way, and now we need a reference to this, to the parent, so to get ready image from the game manager. And when the game starts, we're gonna call this method, the game has started, and we want to set this game object to inactive. So at the start, at the beginning of the game, the get ready image is active, so the child is active. And if we start the game and we set the get ready image to inactive, then by default the child, all the children of the game object that we set to inactive, they're gonna become inactive too. All right, so let's try that out. Let's go to Visual Studio and let's create another reference. So public, inside game manager, we're gonna create a reference to the game object. We're gonna call it get ready image, like this. And now that we have a reference to it, we can go here in the game has started and set the get ready image dot set active equals false, because in this case we want to hide it when the game starts. All right, so now we just have to go to the Unity editor, select our game manager, and we need a reference to the get ready object. So drag the get ready image in here, and now if we hit play, we can see that everything starts like this, and when we tap the screen for the first time, they disappear. All right, so everything seems to be working fine so far. What else do we have to do? Okay, so another thing that I want to do is that when we play the game and the panel appears, I want it to be so that when the player when the user gets a new high score, there's a new label that appears here right next to the high score. So to do this, let's just hide the get ready image for now. Let's check the game over object so we can see everything. And now let's inside the panel, so select the panel and right click and select UI, and we're gonna select image, and we're gonna call this image new image, and we're gonna select the source image to new. All right, we're gonna set the native size, and now you can see it's very small. Okay, and we can make it a little bit big like this. So we get this new, this new label whenever we get a new high score. All right, so at the beginning of the game, I want to deactivate this new image. So initially, this new image is gonna be set to inactive, and we need a reference from this new image inside our score script. So let's go to our score script, and here in the references section, let's create a reference called public game object, and we'll call it new image. And now that we have this image, every time score is greater than high score, we update the score, we update the panel high score, and what we're going to do here is that we're going to set the new image dot set active equals to true. Okay, now let's go to the Unity editor, and don't forget to actually make the reference. So select the score object, and here you can see the score script is waiting for the reference. So drag the new image in here. Okay, so now everything seems to be ready. The only change that I'm going to make, okay, let's try this out and see how it works. So now we're going to check the get ready image, and we're going to uncheck the game over object, and let's play the game. So if we get more than 4, we should see the new image object. Okay, we got 5, and now we can see the new. So see, it only appears when we get a new high score. It doesn't appear always, only when we get a new high score. All right, so we can see now that if we play the game, there's one more thing that I want to change, and I think that we should change, and is that when the bird flaps, I think it falls a little bit too quickly. So to avoid this the speed being to avoid falling so fast, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to the bird script, and inside the bird script here where we are checking if the velocity is greater than 0, we're also going to set the gravity scale to a certain level. For example, if velocity is greater than 0, then that means that the bird is going up. So let's set the rb.gravity scale equals to 0.8. So if the bird is going up, we want the same gravity scale that we have. But if rb.velocity.y is less than 0, so if it's less than 0, we want to change the rb.gravity scale. We want to change it to maybe 0.5. Let's try 0.5 f. And if rb.velocity.y is less than 1.3 f, then we want to reduce the angle. So we will only reduce the angle if the velocity is less than a certain amount, so minus 1.3. So if it's less than minus 1.3, then we want to decrease the angle. But if it's less than 0, we want to straight away slow down the fall of the bird. So hit Ctrl S. Let's go back to the Unity editor, and we should see that the bird falls a little bit. Maybe it falls a little bit too slow. Maybe we should try 0.6. You can play around with these numbers, they don't have to be exact. But so yeah, this is kind of good. Okay, so that's good. That's good for now. And that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.